Today we have a special guest with us, Camela Widad. Camela Widad is a longtime, very dear friend, incredible healer, singer-songwriter. She does incredible vocal work. She has done a lot of healing with me, personally, as my healer, to help me to open my voice, clear my voice, be able to speak more clearly for you, God willing, and to just be in my authenticity, because the voice is an incredible key. Opening the throat, opening the voice is an incredible key to like really showing up authentically. The throat chakra, the throat center, is about how we show up in the world and how we identify ourselves in the world. And when we do that work with opening up the throat, it really clears that path for being able to speak authentically, being able to like speak truth in a way that is not blaring necessarily, more, or at least not more so than we want it to be. And it does wonders for our presence and for our impact. So I'm very excited to have her with us today. She is going to help us, speaking of authenticity, find our heart song. What is the heart song? Heart song is that song that the heart is singing inside, that yearns to be recognized and revealed and heard. So Widad, welcome.
Good morning, dear ones. Oh, I'm so happy to be with you today. I've been teaching voice for about 17 years, but singing my whole life, and it was a place that I sought out for my own healing. And then when I started training in a very old form of healing, I started to realize, wait, I could combine these things. Because I was already, experiencing stress, I would go write a song. I was experiencing sadness, I'd go write a song. And I realized that there's a spiritual element to that, but there's also some just very physical, mechanical elements that don't have to be heavy or a big deal. Sometimes we think of the lofty goals of healing ourselves and the planet and how we show up. But sometimes all you need to do is breathe. And then that breath can turn into sound. And then that sound can turn into resonance, and how we work with resonance. And once we start to kind of clear the tension, that's how I think of it with voice and healing. Now there's space. And in that space, your song will just rise up if we give it space and playfulness and time. And so I always look at my work as a healer as just clearing the tension, clearing the shyness sometimes, and clearing maybe places where we have armored up, especially around the voice. Whew. As a vocal teacher, I can tell you, you are not alone if you have heard people say to you, you can't sing, you sound awful, blah, 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 any version of that. And if it comes from a family member, the number of people who get locked up there and just stop singing when it could create so much joy for you, freedom for you. So I want to give you some tools today to help you very simply find that playfulness with your voice, to relieve some of that armor, some of that tension, and just find the song that wants to rise up. So the first thing I want to do is just let us ground. I'm going to ask you some questions, but I want to ground you all before I go into my work. Mester, did you want to add something?
I do, actually, because I usually start by just calling us all into a circle and bringing us into one circle. So I'll just do that real quick. Just calling us into one circle, sitting side by side. Imagine us together, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And let's bring all of our focus and attention to face with what's right in front of us. So facing toward the center of our circle, bringing your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, facing toward the center of the circle, bringing your throat center to face toward the center of the circle, and bringing your heart center to face toward the center of our circle, facing your rib cage toward the center of our circle, facing your belly, hara, toward the center of our circle, and your hips toward the center of our circle, and letting all of you just take a deep breath and breathe all of yourself in to your core as you drop down, as you exhale, drop down and land into your hips, and just bring all the parts of yourself to be present and facing in one direction. And together we call on our source. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light, and just let that light fall upon you. Receive it in through your pores. And together we call on our source. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love, and just let this unconditional love rain down upon you gently, like a gentle waterfall. And again, let yourself absorb that in through your pores into your body. And you can breathe that in through your heart center. Let your heart center be like a breathing portal. Breathe in that unconditional love. And again, we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion, and just let yourself be surrounded and held and contained in this safe net, this safe container, this womb of the eternal compassion, the ocean of living consciousness. Okay, and with that, Widad, I will turn it over to you.
So let's bring you into your hearts, just checking the weather, quote unquote, of your heart today. Just feel your breath rise and fall. Just listen to your body. How does your belly feel today? And without a need to change it, just breathe into your belly. And as you breathe out, start to sigh. Sighing is the most simple way to start releasing tension from your body and from your vocal cords. So let's just breathe into the belly one more time, not trying to change anything, but like you're giving your belly a big hug as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, sigh. Good. And sometimes when you start taking these breaths in, you might have a yawn that shows up, which is always a really good sign of vocal work. In the middle of my voice lessons with students, if they start yawning, I know we are getting to the tension and it's starting to release. So yawn as much as your body feels a need to as we're working today. So let's take that opening now to your solar plexus. So right between your belly button and your rib cage, I want you to just, again, breathe in, noticing what's there. How does your solar plexus feel? And now breathing into your solar plexus with a giant hug, grabbing on and sighing it out. And now traveling up to your heart center. Let yourself just feel how your heart is today. Is it open? Is it tight? Are you bracing? Are you excited? Do you feel a sense of opening and flow beginning in your heart? And so this is physically checking into your chest, up to your neck, just checking the weather, quote unquote, and seeing like, how is your heart? And now we're going to just breathe into it, sighing on the way out. Coaxing all of the sweetness to start opening in the circle of safety that we're building here today together. And again, this time breathing into your heart like you're grabbing all of the edges, hugging them with your love and your presence. And as you breathe out, sigh. And now traveling further up into the opening, we're creating in your throat, in your larynx, the back of your neck, the top of your shoulders. And again, just talking about it, I feel my body wants to release. It wants to just let go. It wants to yawn, stretch. So if you want to roll your shoulders, if you want to stretch your arms back, you're assisting your body to open, to let go, to start remembering how to be playful again. We're going to work with our voice, and it's going to feel so good. So breathing into your throat, your neck, your larynx, the back of your neck, and just let yourself, big sigh. That might turn into a yawn. You could push your tongue down to actually force a yawn sometime. Again, when you push your tongue down, not only are you releasing tension, but you're also stretching out the base of your tongue, which is reaching down into the larynx. All of these places can tense up for us. If you've been sick, this is going to work out that tension. If you got old history in your throat, we're just respecting it as we're bringing circulation, sound, and movement with that sigh. So one more time, breathing into your throat. And a nice gentle sigh. Beautiful. And now I want you to stretch out your jaw. Big face. You can sigh with that as well. So for those of you that can't see me, stretching out your jaw, just take your the bottom jaw that can move, the bottom mandible, and stretching it like you're going to try to reach your chin just with your jaw. I call it lion face or big face with my students. Good. We're just stretching things out before we start. Now, as we begin coming back to your heart, I want you to just ask, how often do you sing? You can write that down. You can make a note. And singing could be that you're humming in the shower. You're humming while you're chopping vegetables for dinner. Just how often are you singing? Are you humming along to an old tune that makes you feel comfort? And just make a note. Is that every day? Is that once a week? Is it, I don't know how often I sing anymore. And then the next question I want to ask you is, if you feel like you could sing more, what keeps you from singing? With total abandon, as that saying goes, singing like no one can hear you. What keeps you from that song? Just listen to your heart tell you. Listen to your spiritual ears showing you. Might come as a knowing. If you want to write it down, it's just information we're going to work with. We don't need to change it or manipulate it. And then the third question is, if you actually made time in your schedule for singing, would that help you to sing your song? Would that help you to sing any song more often? I sometimes tell my students, the first thing I do when I sit up in bed is lip rolls, which I'm going to show you in a sec, but it's basically to remind my body of alignment. And that can be 5 minutes of your day before you get out of bed, just creating some sound, waking up the body. You're going to be stimulating the vagus nerve. You're going to be building serotonin and dopamine for 5 minutes a day, setting you up for success in your life, whether you're singing or speaking or none of that. But then if you have time later in the day where you can block out 15 minutes, that's 3 songs. 15 minutes is 3 songs. Depending on their length, it could be 4 songs, right? That could be in the car. That could be in the shower. You got a playlist and you're just making space for your songs. And hopefully the song you're going to start to connect with today. So with those 3 questions, I'm going to give you some pragmatic vocal exercises. It's going to wake you up, help build up that energy and that excitement. I've got tongue tension today. And the first one we're going to do is hum. So right now, your mouth is closed and you're connecting to your breath. This is the point of humming. So it could just be, like you're sighing, looking at a beautiful sunset, but your mouth is closed. So let's try that. I would usually, with my students, say 5, 6, 7, 8. When you make that sound, your lips might tingle. It means you're bringing that sound forward. You're doing it perfectly. But you're breathing into your belly. We're waking up the breath with the hum into what we call diaphragmatic breathing. So breathing into your belly. One more hum. And you notice I'm just doing sirens. I don't have my piano with me. I don't have my guitar with me. You can do these exercises anywhere you are. If you are a musician or somebody that knows sound really well, or you're vocally trained, reach out to me, get my contact information if you want to dig in more accurately with notes. But all you need for 5 minutes is just siren sounds or sighing. So another deep breath, one more hum. And as your voice starts to wake up, sound starts to become a little more available. That sound is easier. That's what you want to look for. So as you take a bigger breath and you have more breath support, that sound gets a little more connected. So with this next hum, I want you to try to reach the highest note you can in your body today. Let that sound siren down to the lowest note. So you're going to hear me do it. My high note's probably not going to be yours. You might be able to be higher than me. If you're a tenor or baritone or a bass, it's going to be lower than me. Just trust what comes out of your body. So we're going to take that big breath this time, not just into the belly. I want you to imagine that the breath is creating roots out of your body into the earth. The roots of your tree are reaching that breath all the way down, and then you're going to launch that breath to the top of your head, highest note you can with the humming, and you're descending back down. So let's try this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And then just take a deep breath and sigh. Shake out your body, shake out your spine. Help that tension to get out of your body. As we start to work with our voice, you'll feel that tension in your throat, in your arms, in your belly. Shake it out. Help it get out of your body as we work. Okay, now the next one we're going to do, I know all of you are coming to this class today in this meditation, with different experience levels. So some of these exercises you're not going to be able to do right away. That's okay. If you're like, wow, this was transformative for me, again, hit me up and I will teach this to you one-on-one. But lip rolls, you want to think of it like a horse just got done running a big race and they're like, except we bring sound with it totally. You're going to think lips off the teeth. I tell my students, it's like you're blowing a kiss. You hold that position. And if you're on the video, you'll see me taking my thumb and my forefinger, holding that blowing a kiss formation so that I can be kind of dopey and pouty with my lips off the teeth. And when you hear the lips roll, you're in a position that helps the voice recover. So if you need vocal rehab, if you need to get your voice back, lip rolls are the panacea. They are so amazing. But again, we're just doing sirens with these. So you can do these in the shower. You can try them out in the car. You can try them out right when you wake up in the morning. If you're not familiar with lip rolls and it's a little harder to do it, what you want to think is that big breath roots down to the earth breath. And as soon as you get that big breath, you're going to launch that breath all the way up to the top of your head or to your face, and you're just going to let your lips roll. So you might just go, and that's all you have. And that is perfect, right? We're activating the breath, coordinating it with the alignment of your larynx, and we're placing that, shooting that breath, if you will. We're placing it into our resonators, which could be the top of the head. It could be your eyes, your sinuses, right? Your cheeks, your sinuses, or to your front teeth. So you're thinking big breath, launch, lip roll. So I'm going to do 3 of these in a row and give you a chance to play with this. So deep breath all the way, roots of the tree down. Another big breath when you're ready. Now, I've had 25 years plus of vocal training, so don't feel weird if like I'm creating all these sounds and it's not the same for you. I'm hitting whistle voice, head voice, chest voice, low chest voice, because I've had all this time. And I'm going to do a couple where you're just shaking out some sound. So here's what it sounds like if you're just shaking out sound. Take that deep breath into your feet. That's it. And again, shake out your shoulders, shake out your spine. We're relieving that tension. Another deep breath into your feet, all the way roots into the ground. So you could hear on that one, I'm hitting the lower frequency of my vocal range. The other ones were sirens. The other ones were higher frequency. You can tap into this shake out of the tension any way that works for your body. So I'm going to do another one that's just a low frequency for me. So take that deep breath in, launch. Good. I'm going to do another one now where I'm in the higher frequency of my vocal range. If this is where your body loves to be, trust that. I'm going to hang out on those high notes before I descend. So deep breath in, launch. And that might cut out some of the sound through my microphone on the phone call, but you get the gist. Oh, good, perfect. You're in whatever those high frequencies are for you. Hang out there. I find this one's really good if I need to clear my sinuses, like real world healing. If I have a headache and I'm sending that sound up to those high frequencies, it's hitting the top of my crown, my sinuses. It can help bring that circulation and that vibration and help clear out some of that, congestion, inflammation, headaches. So just keep a little toolbox of remembering what you can use of these exercises. Okay, now the next place we're going to go. So you've got humming, you've got lip rolls. At this point, check back into your heart. Check back into your voice. We're relieving some tension. Do you need to yawn? Do you need to roll your shoulders? Are you starting to feel some playfulness emerge? Are you starting to feel an opening, I hope, in your throat, in your heart? So right now, we're just going to create an ooh sound. An ooh is super gentle on your vocal cords, and this can start to reconnect you to your song. So what we're going to do with this is where my healing starts to tap in to this very real technique work. You're going to make the ooh sound, but you're going to listen to your heart at the same time. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you're sourcing that sound from deep within you. And you're going to follow where that ooh wants to go. So if I start to listen, I can feel right now my body wants to start with a low note. Ooh. That's just where I want to start. Listen to your body and create an ooh sound. Where does your body want to start? Just bring that sound forward. I'll give you some space here to do that. And with that ooh, you're creating an opening. Sigh if you need to. Keep relieving that tension. Yawn if you need to. And now I'm going to tap in with the ooh. I got that low note. What else is there? I'm going to listen to my heart. Ooh, ooh. And you could hear, like for me, my body wanted to go where there was tension. So you could hear there was a little blip in my voice. My body's like, ooh, let's work out that blip. So I'm doing the ooh. You might feel it's clunky. Maybe your voice pops or it whistles or it shakes. It could be your body is creating that sound to help you relieve that tension. So lean into it. Don't shy away from it. This might bring up some of the voices that we talked about in the beginning, you know, the traumas we have around our voice. Thank you for sharing. We're going to lean in and keep going. So creating that ooh, I'm going to keep going with mine, and I'm going to create space for you to have silence for you to create yours. So I'm listening in. I've got more opening now. There's more ooh. I'm following a thread. I'm following the trail of sound. Listen to your body. Where does it want to go? And bring that sound forth. If you're loving that sound that's coming through, you might need to repeat it so you remember it. Let yourself sing it again. Add to it if you need. Now, as I'm listening to the song that wants to come through, I can still feel there's tension in my body. And so I'm going to rely on my toolbox. So for you, you might need to hum again. You might need some more lip rolls. You might need to do some sirens to just open up your throat. So sirens are an ooh, but you're stretched out on the inside like you're yawning. So push your tongue down like you do. Oh, see, I just pushed my tongue down and my body wants to yawn. When you push your tongue down, you're going to feel your soft palate lift up at the same time. So soft palate is roof of your mouth, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, but then trail your tongue back until you reach the tissue that is soft, right? Very back of the mouth on the roof. When that stretches up and you push your tongue down, you've created this really stretchy space on the inside. Your body needs that stretch. Yawn as much as you can. It needs that stretch. If you yawn with a sigh at the end of it, it relieves so much tension from the vocal folds. It's just like unwinding it, creating that space, right? You can do the same thing by going, ooh, right? So it's like there's a yawn on the inside. I've got that stretch, but I'm going ooh at the same time. Ooh. And the same thing we did with the lip rolls. This could be ooh. Low notes. This could be just hanging out on the top. And as soon as you start creating that space, I want you to roll your shoulders now. Let's get that tension out of the body. And now I'm going to do a fun one after this. So shrug your shoulders up to your ears. I always tell my kids, this is my I don't know face. And then drop them with a sigh. One more time. Shrug your shoulders to your ears. Drop it with a sigh. Good. Now, here's one that helps the voice, but also your lymph system. You're going to lift up one shoulder at a time, back and forth. So I've got my right shoulder up and down, left shoulder up and down, right shoulder up and down, left shoulder up and down. Now speed it up. Left, right, up, down, up, down. Good. Now from here, you might start to feel like some of that tension is releasing. So let's come back to the ooh. If in the middle of these oohs, that tension is just starting to like unwind, follow that. Yawn as much as you need to, sigh as much as you need to, do the shakes and the wiggles to help it out and come back to the ooh. So I'm coming back to my heart and I'm listening now. I've got that ooh I started with. I can feel there's more space, but I can still feel some tension. And I'm checking in. Do I just need to sing through that tension? The singing is going to release that tension. And that's my sense right now. So I'm going to take that breath into the earth. So make the ooh sound that grabs onto the tension and it moves it out of your body. So listen in, trust yourself, and make some sound. And as you start to connect into your heart and your song, because your song is starting, you might feel that there's other sounds now besides ooh. So let's just do a little exercise with ah. So it's as if you're sighing, but you have a lot more breath support. And again, just do this with a siren. And that ah sound, I always tell people, pretend you're smiling with your face. So you can, if you're on the video, you can see my whole face is smiling, my eyes are smiling. I'm going to drop my jaw and I'm going to stretch out that tension that sets in. Oh, right on the corner of our jaw next to our ear. Oh, we chew, we talk, and it gets tense. So we're going to stretch that out. Ah, with the ah. But with a nice big giant breath, smiling with our face, big breath into the earth. And it's breathy and puffy. It's not a it's just a right? It's like a sigh. We're creating space for your song to come forward. So now let's go back. Let's go to the ooh and maybe weave in an ah if you want. Follow that song. If you're already like running with this, you can add la la las, you can add words, you can hum and open and close. Follow that flow. I'm just going to listen into my heart now, coming back. I'm going to start with the ooh, and I'm just going to listen. What's that thread pulling me toward? What wants to come out of your body? And I could keep going, but listen to your song now. Tapping into your heart. I'm going to create some silence for you to listen in and follow the flow. Where is it taking you? And sigh, yawn, shake out your body. You're creating space. And let's do a little heart check-in just for you. How are you doing with this? Is it bringing up triggers? Is it setting you free? Are you ready to write your next song? I hope that's the answer. Are you feeling a little more space in your throat and in your heart, I hope? Sometimes when we do these meditations, we never know day to day, is it going to stir things up to the surface so we can finally look at them and move them? If that's the case, both Master Deborah and I are here for you if you need support to go further with anything that's coming up. If it's really opening for you, I want you to think in from just these very simple exercises I've given you, which ones are working? Which ones are helping you? Is it the humming? Was it the lip rolls? Was it the ooh sound? Was it the sighing? Was it just starting with the ooh and just sounding, right? Open mouth, closed mouth, ooh, ah. You can do wee, whatever sound it is. What is it that's helping you open the doors of your heart to bring forth your song? And just make a note of that. If you want to write it down, if you want to just remember it in your mind, hold on to the exercises that work. And just a quick side note as a vocal coach, mornings are generally the hardest time to work on the voice. So if you're feeling a little clunky and gravelly or groggy, that's okay. That's really normal. This is why we kept it really gentle, just like an opening for the body. If you try these exercises or listen back to the recording later at the end of the day, you might actually find that there's more space and more opening for this to actually move a little bit more. So I'm just going to leave you with this little bit of a taster. Hopefully you've gotten some good connection to your song. I know we always leave this open for a time of questions, or if anybody wants to dig into other exercises, you can ask. I think there's a way, there's a chat or something, right, Master Deborah, that they can ask. You know, if there's something going on with your voice, you can ask me that. There's lots of other exercises that I could give you. But since it's morning and since we're just really kind of tapping in for this to be a meditation, I've kept it really gentle for the body. So yeah, is there any questions that any of you have before I keep going or finish?
So we do have, there's a couple of ways that people will ask. We're still in the recording part, and usually I save questions until, after the recording ends. So if that works for you, we can do that. Or let me just say, if you have a question that you wouldn't mind being on the recording, you're welcome to ask. Just know that it will be recorded and that recording will go out to the public. Otherwise, if you prefer to wait until after we stop the recording, then you can ask, or I suppose I could pause it as well. But let's see, we do have a hand up. So let me go ahead. Iman, I'm going to unmute you. You are unmuted.
I've been in different choirs and stuff, and so singing is really important, and it reminds me a little bit of when I was in high school. Of course, they were different exercise, but we used to do stuff like stuff like that. Right. So that, and I still do some of that stuff around the house. And of course, I live alone with my dog, so I sing to him a lot. So thank you for this. It really stimulated me and opened my heart. So thank you so much. I hope you come back again.
You are so welcome. And yes, I will be back. I think it's in 3 months. But yeah, I love that. I love that you sing to your dog. When it's so real for our pets. It's so real for everybody. I mean, it's like mothers singing to their babies. It's just like, it's such a core part of who we are, and it can bring us back to a truth that we carry. So thank you so much for sharing, love.
Yeah, and thank you for that suggestion, because for those of us who don't feel safe singing in our homes to the humans of the house, then, the animals they love unconditionally. They're not judgmental. That's a good way to open up and begin to feel safe using your voice in ways that might not be familiar to you is to sing to your unconditionally loving pet.
Yeah. And Master, if you have any questions, if you're comfortable leaving your questions on the recording, we've worked a lot. And we can open it up for questions for people who don't want to have their questions on the recording too. But if you have any, we can answer those too.
So there's another one that came into the online chat, and it said, when I was younger, I was yelled at and told to shut up a lot. Me too. It's hard for me to feel safe to open my voice to sing. And I will say that I think is one of Widad's specialties. So if you're open to some one-on-one work, I'll put her. Widad, what is your website?
My website is Creative Soul Studios, like one word, .net.
CreativeSoulStudios.net.
Yeah. Yes, for sure contact me, but I want to just say to the beloved who left the comment, I'm so sorry. That's really unfair to hear that growing up. And it, as a vocal coach, it still makes me sad every time I hear all the ways that we've been told those things. And like from my heart to you, I hope you don't give up coming back to your voice and finding your voice and letting yourself, even if it's from a state of rebellion, to be like, I'm going to find my voice, because it happens. It happens to a lot of us. And to release ourselves from the poison of the words is sometimes so important for us. So thank you for the vulnerable share. And I hope that you'll reach out in the ways that can support you further, because you deserve to sing and to feel safe and to have the joy of it.
Yeah, I can relate to that one too. I was, but believe it or not, and I think I've shared this with you, Widad. I'm not 100% positive, but if I haven't, you'd be surprised. My grandmother was a music teacher, and she taught piano. She was an amazing pianist, and she had, the multi-level organ, and she wailed on that thing. And she was really talented. And I kind of took after her in a sense that, I was like the gifted musician in the family. And when I was in, I think between kindergarten and first grade, I was going to go and spend the summer with her and be her student for the summer. She lived about 5 hours away from where my family lived. And she came down to get me her little musician, the gifted one, right? And boy, it became a really bad shit show. And she ended up yelling at me and telling me I would never amount to anything, and that I would be, don't even, I would just basically be a failure and a loser for the rest of my life. And she left without me. And that damaged me horribly. I picked up piano again when I was in junior high school, just playing around for a couple of years, and then put it down again. But boy, the impact, I know that's like a lot of what, what we've been doing to clear my throat for all these years. Sure. Probably what put me in the healing school.
I'm glad that you brought this up so that our participants can really understand that it doesn't have to be the end of the story, the traumas that are stuck in our bodies or that our bodies remember. And in all of my years of teaching voice, what I would say, and doing healing work, maybe like 1 or 2 students out of 100 come in like, yeah, I'm totally free. I'm going to take over the world. Everybody else, we set up this space. And this is what I say to them, because this is what I have learned as a teacher. We're going to get messy. This is going to sound weird. It's going to sound bad. It's going to sound wiggly and crazy. And if you're willing to get weird with me, the only way out is through all of the messiness of it, all of the mistakes of it. Every single student. Like at first, we have an exercise that warms up the mix, and it's really whiny. master has been taught this exercise. But if we can laugh at ourselves, we can work through that trauma. So I actually force really weird exercises onto my students. So we get over that place of like, oh no, I'm going to be seen and it's going to be bad. We're just going to make it be bad. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we do this exercise,
I'm going to be
we go,
imperfect and I'm
nah.
going to get shut down again, and it's not going to be safe because we're not going to be perfect. Yeah.
No, that isn't even there anymore. It's like the exercise goes, nah, 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 nah. I sound like a crying baby, but it's such a huge rehab for the voice. Totally. And so this the thing that I've learned over the years, like using sound and movement and healing to clear the places where our body remembers. When we add that breath and song, the healing just seems exponential. And all of the years, I do all kinds of healing work, soul healing work, where we don't often make a lot of sound. It's very inward. When we can allow ourselves to be super messy on purpose, weird on purpose, it sets us free. And then you're doing that in front of a teacher who basically says, these are the rules. We're going to be weird. This is going to sound clunky and messy. Then all of a sudden there's nothing to be afraid of. And then you just grow exponentially. So whoever that person is, find that person that makes you feel like you can be totally weird and it's cool.
Yeah. And I love that you bring that up about find that person, find that, because there are things that we can't do alone, right? Because like we can be weird when we're by ourselves, but then as soon as we get to where that, where we've been witnessed before and our nervous system is programmed to say it's not safe to do this when someone is witnessing, when someone is watching, because they're going to yell at me or they're going to judge me. It's like to have another person there to witness you, it reprograms your nervous system to a place of it's okay and this is safe. Right. So having another, like, either a group or just someone to witness you from a place of like, I'm going to like absolutely beam like love beams at you the whole time and hold you in a place of acceptance and safety and fun and joy. And we're going to do this together and like just show our little nervous systems in our hearts, or our big nervous systems in our big hearts, that, you know what, we're meant to be playful in this way and it is safe.
Yes, I have a student who came to me. He retired and he had been in the military, and there was a little bit of like need to recover from the military. And we would get into these exercises that sounded just so crazy, and he would start laughing like in the middle of these exercises. And that's it. That's the stuff, is like, okay, then at the end of it, singing, because my lessons are about like 30 minutes long or 45 minutes long. In the last 10, 15 minutes, we sing. And you can sing a karaoke song or whatever. And he would just be like, I can't believe how much less tension there is, how much better I feel. And it's like, yeah, we learn through play. That's where we start. So to recover
right?
from trauma,
how do we forget to play?
Oh gosh, we need permission as adults. Like, hey, it's okay. We're going to make some crazy sounds. And most of the time people are like, really? And my teenagers are the ones that have the harder time, because they're like, oh, wait a minute. They're so locked into being cool and putting on their mask that it takes about 3 months for them to put their masks down. But the playfulness is sometimes the key to healing. And when you're with that person that's just like, all right, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was another comment on the on the chat. It says, "This is so new to me. I feel now how much I have been keeping my voice down. Thank you. I will do my best to start singing for my heart."
Yay! I love that.
Me too.
Thank you for sharing.
Ditto. I'm with you.
Yeah,
this
listen
is
back to the
beautiful.
recordings. If it's new for you and this is just like a nice little gentle opening, just start there. Keep replaying the recordings and let yourself find the next step.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, Widad, this has been amazing as always. It's been wonderful. I feel so much moving in my body and especially in my throat. I just feel like there's a whole new layer that's releasing and opening up for me. I appreciate that so much. If you are ready, I'll close the recording and we can open for more. You ready? Okay.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you. All right. So, if you are listening to the recording, you are invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com, and that's FOR4, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive the reminders and replays. Click on Join the community. Sign up to receive the reminders and replays, and when you do, you will receive 2 free gifts. One is a one sheet that you can download. It's 10 spiritual principles of our human existence. Very simple. It's a reminder of who we are, what this earth journey is about, why we're here, and to remind us that we are always contained in an ocean of divine love. We need that reminder every day because it's easy to forget, as we've outlined in this in this program, right? And it remind us to play. The other one is a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that I hope you will download and use as a part of your daily practice to help you to connect with the pure divine light, the unconditional love, and the eternal compassion that is the core of who you are. All right, with that, I thank you very much for being here. Closing the recording now and opening for Q&A.